Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So obviously I've already put in the description, in the title, what this is, so it's no surprise anymore. So let me just show you. So this is another Hot Topic palette. Guys, I am just loving the Hot Topic palettes. They're so awesome. So I actually have to give a little shout out to somebody who commented on my Wonder Woman video, Stress Muffin. They commented asking if I had looked at or reviewed or could review the American Horror Story palette. And I actually didn't even know one had come out because when I got the Wonder Woman palette, I bought it online and I was specifically looking for that palette. So I didn't go browsing through their makeup section, which I probably should have done. But this time when I called my store, they actually had a bunch in stock, so I was actually able to go get it this weekend. So this is the American Horror Story Fear Has a Face eyeshadow palette. And if you saw my Instagram post, this wasn't the only thing I picked up. Since I was in store, I actually saw a couple of other kind of nerdy makeup items that I wanted to pick up. So I'll be doing some videos on those coming up in the future, but I really wanted to get this one out, especially since finale will have just aired. So I just figured this is totally appropriate. So again, you know, if you guys ever see anything out there, it doesn't have to be Hot Topic and it doesn't have to be the, you know, under $15 range, but let me know, you know, shout it out on a comment or send me a message, because sometimes I don't see this stuff and I actually just love these finds. I love, you know, checking out these palettes and reviewing them, and sometimes they've turned out to be really fun palettes that I've enjoyed having in my collection. So yeah, if you see something, totally let me know. All right, so let's get into the details about the palette itself. So this is what it looks like. It's got kind of, let's see, it's got like glitter blood, I guess you would say, and it goes all the way around it. It's got the details on the back. I will say, out of all the Hot Topic palettes I have tried so far, this is definitely the cheapest feeling in terms of packaging. I mean, it's like this boxy kind, and I don't know, it's already feeling like it's gonna fall apart really easily, but I'm hoping that the colors will be really awesome, because looking at them, I'm really excited to try them out. So first you get a brush. So this looks exactly like the brush that came in the Wonder Woman palette. It's just a black handle instead, but it's just a little flat brush. And there is a mirror, you know, nothing fancy. Again, just like with that Wonder Woman palette, it's kind of like it's paper wrapped over cardboard, but the Wonder Woman one just felt a bit sturdier than this. I don't understand why it needs to be so thick, you know, because believe me, the pans aren't that deep, so it just makes it feel awkward and bulky, but it's really lightweight. I don't know. So here are the shadows, so you can see. These are the shadow colors. I'm actually really excited about these colors. It just seems very fun. There are some similar colors to some of the other palettes that they've had for things like the Wonder Woman palette and stuff like that, but there's still some different new ones in here too, and the tones may be different. So the cool thing about this palette, this is kind of an American Horror Story palette in general. It's not specific to one season. It actually kind of has nods to all of the seasons, with the exception of the one that's currently on right now, because clearly this was produced prior to that. But you have it sectioned, and it actually, so across the top here, it tells you the season that it's from, and then the bottom is just the shadow names. So it looks like there's two shadows per season that are on here. Let's do some quick swatches of these so you can see how they actually look. All right, so first up, these two right here are the Murder House colors. This first one is called Lost Souls. The second one is Rubber Band. This one is one of my disappointments because it was a black shade with a bunch of silver glitter in it. So I was kind of, you know, I had some good hopes for it considering it wasn't glitter on top, but you really don't get any glitter at all. Why do they keep doing this? Just quit putting glitter in your pans, come on. All right, the next two right here are a little bit harder to see, but these are the Asylum shades. So the first one is called Possession. The second one is called Sanity. So this is just a really nice white. It's very difficult to see it on my skin, but this one's very interesting. It's just very bright pastel blue, very pretty. All right, next up, these two shades right here. These are from the Coven section. Come on, focus. These are from Coven. So this first shade is Supreme, and this took a lot of building. And the second shade is Voodoo, and it was a gorgeous metallic. So I just kind of felt like Supreme with Rubber Man was just a bit of a pointless inclusion in this palette. Like, I feel like they could have done a different color for the Coven section, because The Rubberman color, while it is disappointing that you don't see the glitter, it's a nice intense black, so that's really cool. This Supreme looks kind of like a muted black, but it comes out really, really sheer. So I just kind of wonder what the point of that is. I mean, why include that? Couldn't you have come up with a different color maybe that would have fit? Or just made that the super black one and done something different for the murder house. I don't know. All right, so where are we? We're right here. So these are the two Freak Show colors. So first you have Freak, and second you have Star. Now this is a really, really pretty shimmery color, but it was very like chalky and chunky, so just beware. Next up is Hotel. This one is Cortez, and this one is Bellhop. So this one, I don't know if you can really tell well on camera. I love the way this color turns out, but it's this color right here in the pan. I mean, I had to build like 3 or 4 layers of it. It's very sheer, and I guess maybe that was their intention. So this would be just like a nice wash of color, so it's not gonna give you a super crazy impact, but it is a pretty tone. So last but not least, these two shades down here, these are from the Roanoke colors. Let's see, there we go. Okay, so this first one is Witch in the Woods, and this last one is Blood Moon. I don't know if that's even coming off well on camera. This color was actually a bit more unique. I thought it was kind of a black with red sparkles in it in the pan, and it actually almost came off to be like a really deep blackish navy. Again, though, you don't see any of the little red sparkles, which here, let me see, like, all right. Can you see the red sparkles in the pan? It's a pretty unique idea. However, you don't get it in the swatch. So, I mean, that would be my one complaint with all of these Hot Topic palettes is, for God's sake, quit putting glitter. Just stop. Glitter is not necessary. All right, let me wipe this off and then we'll move on to actually using it on the eyes. All right guys, so you know that my goal with these palettes is usually to try to use as many of the shades as I can to get a real feel for just how they work. So that's what I came up with. It is definitely colorful. So I will say, as I looked at these and started trying to figure out what I wanted to do, the two colors that go for each season, they go really nicely together. But as a palette, like as a whole, it doesn't really go together that great. First example, there's really no transition shades in here at all. So the only mattes really are this white one, this Supreme color. That's it. Everything has a subtle shimmer to it. Now granted, you can still get away with using some of those in the crease, but again, there's really nothing that's a good crease shade. All right, let's just get into it. So I'm gonna start out with this color, Cortez, for my transition, and that one was a very light color, so you'll see that it takes a lot of building and it really doesn't do much, so. All right, so I probably dipped back in, what, 5 different times just to get that amount of pigment. So, I mean, I'm guessing this color is just meant to be a wash of color. So, I mean, I'm glad it's in there because it's really all I've used for a transition, unless I wanted to use like pastel blue. So, what did I do next? Oh yeah, so next I decided to use this color and this color mainly because I really wanted to use them. And I did use them on a wet brush and they actually worked really nicely that way. You know, sometimes it doesn't work so well and you end up having to do your finger instead, but these two both actually worked really nice with just a nice flat wet brush. So I'm going to start with Lost Souls, which is the reddish orange color, and I'm just going to place this on my eye. I've been digging this whole like halfway diagonal thing. So I basically went to here and just diagonal up. So get some pigment on the brush. And I tried to keep this really tidy on my crease, almost as if I was doing a cut crease, but without doing one. With my eye shape, it's just easier for me to do. Okay, I think that's about the right distance. I'm just going to re-wet the brush and then go into this gold shade, which was Voodoo, and finish off the rest of the eye. right, and then once you have that down, first go in with Voodoo and kind of go over that line and then go back into Lost Souls and do the same. This just blends the two colors together. All right. Then I picked up this kind of dense, fluffy blending brush and went into the Lost Souls shade and just kind of added a little bit of diffusing of that color out here on the outer side. And I kind of just barely dragged it in. I didn't go all the way across the crease because I wanted to leave that for our lovely little Voodoo shade. So I wanted to keep it the kind of gradient from this reddish orange into the golden orange. All right, that looks good enough to me. So like I mentioned, my goal is generally just to use as many of these shades as possible in a look that will look at least decent. So I decided to do a fun liner because that's just an easy way to get another shadow in there. And I really wanted to use this dark shade that was from the Roanoke side. This is Blood Moon. So I just wet a flat angled brush and then I'm going to just line my upper lash line and do a little wing. And I'll say the key with this is making sure you keep your brush wet. So if you feel like the color is not gliding on as easily, then re-wet it and dip it back into the pan. All right, so I gave that a nice 2 layers of color. Before I do the wing, I'm going to wet it again. Let me use this mirror over here. Let's see. Oops, knocking stuff off. How high did I go? It's always the fun part, is trying to match your wing. Hey look, I got one little tiny speck of that red glitter. I don't know if you can even see it. All right, now to do the lower lash line. So again, I wanted to use different colors. So I really was drawn to this green. It wasn't fully the tone I wanted throughout, and I wanted to again use more colors. So I'm doing kind of a 2-tone green under eye. So I'm starting off with Witch in the Woods, and I did wet this angled brush. It might not look like it, but it is kind of a shimmery shade and it just stands out a bit better that way. And I'm just stamping this on to halfway. And I'm gonna give it a second layer. Okay, then I'm going into the bright green, which was free, and going the rest of the way. And then, just to kind of tone it down a little bit, I'm going over the top of it with Cortez, just over the top of the bright green. Okay. Then, taking a pencil brush, going back into Cortez and running it along all the colors underneath them, just to kind of smoke it down a little more. Okay. Last but not least, I'm taking this kind of, now I'm taking something else because that's on the floor. Oh look, I'll take the brush that the palette came with. So this is just a flat brush. I'm going into Star, and I just wanted to use this to kind of act as a little inner corner highlight. It is kind of the pink color, but I feel like if you diffuse it out enough, it just looks like light shimmer. So it's not too off, which is nice. All right, so that's it. Let me just throw on some mascara and liner and I'll be right back. All right guys, so this is the final eye look. I'm a little disappointed in this palette. I don't like being disappointed in a palette. I will say, I mean, I always have really high hopes for palettes and I hope that I'll love them, but I really am just not a big fan of this one. The quality of these shadows, some of them are good, some of them eh. I would say that this one, all of them were nicely pigmented with the exception of this one. I don't know if that was what it was supposed to be, just like a sheer wash of color, because if not, then they kind of missed the ball, you know, missed the mark there. But all the colors kind of got a little clumpy after a while, but I was very happy that these two colors, the red and orange, worked really nicely with a wet brush. The greens were beautiful. They seem to do greens really nicely, whoever this company is that does it, because in all the palettes I've bought from them, from Hot Topic, the greens have always been some of my favorite shades. And again, this one and this one are just out of the park awesome. This one, you know, it actually is a very beautiful sheer shade. I just don't know if that's what the intention was. But yeah, you know, for me, like I said, I want to be able to pick up a palette and do a full eye look, and I just prefer to have something a bit more light or neutral that I can build up and you know, shape. With this, I kind of more just like placed the color because I didn't really, you know, want to have a whole red crease. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of just, unfortunately, they're not always going to be wonderful palettes that you pick up. But again, these are, you know, cheap palettes. They're under $20. I still love the theme of this. I love that it's American Horror Story, and I love that they have kind of like a grouping for each of the seasons. I think that's a really fun type of thing. So, I mean, that is one thing. I try to find the positives and the things that I like in all of these items, because I am spending my money on this, so I want to try to find some positives in how I spent my money. It's not like it's Sephora. I can't go returning it because I didn't like it. But yeah, so just if you are in the market for this, just be wary, or, you know, just think about how you would want to use this palette. Are you just buying it as a collector's piece because you love the show? Do you like these colors? You know, if you want to rock this stuff, more power to you. I mean, hey, I got something out of it. I might not wear this, you know, to work, but I do kind of like the look. I think it's really fun. But I personally would get more everyday type of use out of it as like a liner accent or just a single shadow used with other shadows. So if that's what you want to do, then hey, $15 for 12 shadows isn't a bad deal. So that is all for today's video. Stay tuned for the other review videos. Like I said, I did pick up another eyeshadow palette from Hot Topic, and then I got some lip products, and these will be the first lip products that I've ever tested from Hot Topic. So stay tuned for those videos. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and make sure you hit the notification bell. That way you'll know exactly when I post. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed this review. I hope you guys are enjoying these kind of fun, affordable, fun, nerdy palettes, because I know I am. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye.